Welcome to Parking Lot Profiles with Tenring. In these days of COVID, where the truck shows have stopped and the truck stops have made it hard for us to sit down at a diner and get to know each other, I'm going to bring along some friends that I do know and meet some new friends along the way. I'm going to talk to them about everyday life and everyday things. I hope you enjoy this little series of mine. Today's video is with a guy named Howard Salmon. Some of you may have heard the story about Liam a couple of years ago, who was the poster child for St. Christopher Fund. Howard has a really good story, life story. I wish I could have interviewed him anyway, even without the story of Liam. He's an interesting guy. He's also a musician. He's got some stuff out on Apple Music if you want to go download it. But he's a really nice guy, and I was really honored to be told this story that I want to share with all of you. So it took a long time. I couldn't edit it out. I had to just go through the whole thing and make the whole thing into two parts. So Howard, I apologize for it taking so long, but I didn't want to cut your story. I didn't want to cut anything out. I wanted to show the whole thing, just like we talked about. So this will be part one. Part two will come out.
the other pink meat.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know the story. A lot of us know the story of Liam. But right now, to start with, I want to know about you and your driving career and how you got started driving and what got you into it.
Well, I did 3 years Army, 1 year Army National Guard, 4 years Air Force. I was a driver in the Army, driver in the Air Force, wrecker operator, heavy equipment. And after I got out of the military, I started driving truck. Just transferred my license from military over to civilian. And
that was when?
I'm going back a ways, 84.
84, okay.
Yeah. So I've been out here for 30 plus years, over 4 million miles logged.
Right.
My truck out here right now has only 2.5 million on it right now. So
okay.
My other one I had, I turned it in after I drove it about 500,000. Then I worked for a company prior to that, and well over 1 million miles on that. So I'm a seasoned
veteran,
yeah.
Seasoned driver.
Yeah.
Okay.
No accidents. Good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's always good.
Yeah.
Because it seems like a lot of times we have to, never mind drive defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has to drive defensively. Mm-hmm. It seems like we have to drive their cars and their trucks for them.
Yeah, we have to.
We have to anticipate their movements before even they do to prevent them from doing stupid to us.
That's why we're called professional drivers.
Absolutely.
And that's why it is.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now you're driving for yourself?
I've been an independent operator since about 1996. I bought my first truck, bought a 90 Kenworth T600, and then November 98 I bought my brand new W900, rebuilt it at 1.45 million, and then just rebuilt it here last month. I put in complete shebang in that thing, pulled the motor out, did all the seals, all fuel lines, clutch, rear end, shocks, tires. So it's a brand new truck almost. Put about almost 50 grand into it.
Right.
So it's a good running truck now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good deal.
Yeah.
Well, earlier you had mentioned, like you said, Liam, your son. Okay, and how he grew up. And how did you first find out that he was sick?
Wow. Now you're going to hit the hard stuff, but I got to say, Liam was my teacher. He taught me how to be daddy, and I'm very proud of that. I come home from the road in December of 2019. We had a nice Christmas, best Christmas ever we had. And January 4th, Liam was having trouble walking. You know, he was so stumbly, we thought he might have had an earache. We went to the ER real quick. And they put my wife and him on a plane from Redding, California, to go to Sacramento. On the way, I had to catch up with him. I had a delivery I had to make the next day, but I had a load in my truck. I caught up with them in Sacramento, and before I got there, my wife said he has a brain tumor. We don't know what it is yet. So January 4th, we found this out, and January 5th, he couldn't walk. He was a noodle. We went on massive steroids. They asked if they could do a biopsy on the brain. It was very hard to do because it's in the pons area, which controls your heart, your lungs, everything, your movement. This tumor is called DIPG. And if you ever look up DIPG, you're not going to like what you see. There's no cure and no survivors. After diagnosis, they say 6 months to a year. Well, we fought with radiation, 2 trials, did the best we could do. Took him in the truck, and we lost him New Year's Eve of last year. I didn't drive a truck all year last year, and I took 7 months off this year. I came back in August. But if you've never lost a child, I pray you never know that feeling. But it's extremely hard to know what he had, knowing that I was going to lose my son.
Right.
And to have to fight that whole year, knowing that I'm going to lose my boy.
Now,
Wasn't easy.
Along the way, a lot of people became aware of your situation. Don't worry, I can edit all this stuff.
Don't worry about it. It's okay.
A lot of people became aware of your situation, and a lot of people got behind you.
Yeah.
St. Christopher Fund.
Yeah.
See what you did?
This right here is real.
Right.
No edit is necessary. I'm not afraid to cry. I'm a man.
Well, I know.
And I got tears. I got love for my family and kids. That's the way it is.
But a lot of people found out about it. A lot of people got behind you. St. Christopher Fund got behind you. They put you and Liam up there as the face of St. Christopher for last year, year before.
2020 poster child for
Right.
Liam, yeah.
And that helped a lot, I'm sure. Since then, like you said, there's been some good news that's come out of this. You're looking at building a truck for the Liam Foundation.
Liam Foundation, yeah.
That's a one-of-a-kind truck. Say it again.
Extremely one of a kind. You'll never see another one of these trucks available. It's a 1940 Chevrolet COE. There were only 3,039 of this built.
Okay.
And you guys are going to see it out there soon. It's going to be burgundy with black fenders. It's going to have the stake side bed on it. Oak. I have all the beautiful burl oak on it. I'm going to try to see if I can't get some Chevrolet owners or dealers behind it to at least help the next family that's going to go through this thing. Now it's a rare tumor, but it's not that rare. But there, I know of right now 3 more that have this, and I know many more that have lost their children, and we all kind of stick together. This is something that if you've never experienced something like this, I pray you never do. This is terror for the whole year. That when we were fighting this tumor, we knew he was going to go, but we still had hope. We had to try.
Right.
We tried different chemotherapy drugs, different things, but it's we knew he was probably not going to make it. So we gave him one hell of a year. Even though I gave him hell of a lot of years prior to that.
Right.
Oh, we go no sooner go up to Lake Tahoe, ride around on snowmobiles, and the next week we fly out and go to Hawaii, and had a great time. That was in 2018 or something. We constantly did something together. He was like my sidekick. He'd be following me around in my garage or my shop. I'd have my jack out doing my car, lifting it up.
Right.
And I put it aside, and he loved his tractors, John Deere tractors.
Now, how would he feel knowing that there's a plaque with his name on it going to the moon?
Well, that's fun. I'll tell you about that moment. But like I said, being the sidekick, he would be out there lifting up his tractor with the jack as well as I do. But knowing that we always sat outside and looked at the stars and always looked at the moon and sunset. He just loved life, loved everything. And I relived my childhood through him because I did everything. I handed him power drills without the drill bit, of course.
Right.
But I handed him all these things, and that's what he would do. He learned. But we have been, during this ordeal, an organization out of Nassau got in touch with his aunt and said we'd like to put Liam's name up there on the moon, and they're going to launch a lander possibly March or April of 2022. So they said we need 25 letters, and we're going to put that on a plaque. They said we don't have anybody else on this. We want to make sure we're just doing this for you. We can't advertise about it, so it's only for Liam. So we put Liam, and Liam's name Liam means love is all mine, and then we put Ohana down it for Liam, love is all mine, Ohana. So they sent us a certificate stating that he'll be on the moon, and it's always going to be up there. It's going to stay there. It's not coming back. It's going to stay on the moon. They not only did that, but they kind of shocked us when they put another certificate said that Howard, Mary, Liam Salmon will also be on the moon. So at least my name is going to be with my son from now on, forever. And I'm really happy about that. But, so now I can look at the moon almost every morning or every night and know that he's looking down on us.
So right now I know everything is still raw. And I understand I lost my brother at a real young age, and I went through more denial than anything else on that.
Yeah.
Angry at everybody else, angry at everything else. Didn't believe it until I actually had to carry him. It was a Marine Corps funeral, but they put me up on the top right. Okay, so I kind of know a little bit where you're going.
Yeah.
Since then, and I know time has passed, you're back to driving again. You're back to providing and occupying your mind.
Yeah.
But and I want to say that, you know, me for one, I'm glad you're not sitting at home vegging out. Okay, because that tends to not do you any good and not do his memory any good. So it's good to see you out moving around. And with the plaques going to the moon and with all these other things that are happening, is there anything else coming through to help keep his memory and keep the disease, more importantly, not just his memory, but the awareness of the disease, the awareness of the tumor, out to where somebody will want to create a surgery procedure or medication to help with this thing?
Right.
Is there anything happening?
We wish it would. We wish they would have a cure for it. They've been doing studies for so long and haven't found anything that's working. So I don't like doing this, but it's hard for me to just look at this picture. I'm gonna show you guys. I'll show everybody here. This is a picture of his MRI when he was in the hospital. I got only 10,000 here of him. I gotta keep going down, but I'm going to show you what that tumor is and where it is on. It's called, DIPG. I think it's diffuse interesting pontine glioma. It is the worst of the worst. You look at survival rate on different cancers, a whole list of all these cancers, and most of them have survival rate and a cure. This is at the bottom of the list, and there is none. And I'm still scrolling, believe it or not. I've only got 10,000 pictures of them, but
Right.
I'm still scrolling. You'll get to it eventually, but this is something that you're not going to like to see. In the middle of the screen, that big old white clump. That white clump is wrapped around the pons of his all the motor skills, everything, his breathing, his heart, everything. That tumor was wrapped around, and what it does, it starts to squeeze off everything. So right off the start, he couldn't really use his left hand. That was in January. He had a hard time walking, but he kept on fighting. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. We kept him on his tractor all the time. He played with that tractor everywhere. I'd take my John Deere tractor on the road, following his John Deere tractor electrical when we bought him. He'd go a mile down the end of the road and a mile turn back, and I'd follow him in the John Deere. Everyone kept saying, "Oh, look, the tractor boy again." It was so cute. Everyone loved stopping, taking pictures of him doing his tractor. But anyhow, what this does, it wraps around the pons. It starts to choke off things. First, it took, the use of his arm, his hands. He couldn't really operate that. He was left-handed, couldn't use it. In July, we had his Make-A-Wish. We went to the house with the houseboat at Lake Shasta with all the family. One thing I want to remember, I always had to carry him around a little bit because he had a hard time walking, but he kept doing it. And as the water recedes over at Lake Shasta, you have these little mounds like rocks and stuff where they have a buoy up there. He said, "Daddy, I want to climb that mountain." I said, "Okay, let's do it." I held his hand and he walked up there. I have video of that. It was precious. He walked up there with me, holding my hand. We walked to the top of that little mound. He was a fighter. And October was his birthday, October 29th. He wasn't walking then. soon after that, around November, he started not being able to talk, to make a few noises. Soon after that was December. He was getting extremely tired. And we had to keep going to do infusions on every week. And we looked at him. We knew the nurse and the doctor said it's progressing pretty solid. So we said, Liam, you don't want any more, no more pokes, no more blood. He said no. I said, okay, we're not going to do anything else. And he just smiled a little bit. I said, let's go home and play. And he got a big grin. I said, no more doctors.
Yeah.
December 25th, we had a little bit of a Christmas, not much. And New Year's Eve came along, the day before. The nurse came in and said he was choking on his fluids. He couldn't swallow. It was going in his lungs. So he had what they call the death roll or death growl or something like that. We had to do a little morphine, and my wife and I laid in the bed with him right in the middle. And at 3:00 p.m., in our arms, he took his last breath. And you never want to hear that. That's hard. I just don't know. Trying to get over something like this, you'll never get over it. I wish people will say, "Oh, you get over it, it'll be better." You don't know it. I don't think I'm ever going to get over it, but I can try to move forward. I'm not going to move on. I can move forward. You know, it's just dealing with the pain. The VA gave me some meds for PTSD, and they had to increase them here last week because I was having nonstop. My brain wouldn't shut off. I just had to keep thinking about everything, and just kept ripping me up. I don't want to be on any meds. I don't like meds, but they suggested I just do this to take care of the family, do my job, which I have to do, and try to move forward a little bit. So I'm doing that, but I've got about 1 million stories to tell you about Liam, and later down the road I'm going to show more video and stuff. I'm looking at possibly trying to do a song by Kenny Chesney. Trying to re-record. Can't think of it about. I don't know. You got a mind block here. It's about today, or see you again someday. There's a song there that really hits the spot about someone dying.